boys, we're gonna amaze you with all kinds of crap and bullshittery. Hi, how's it going? I'm Shane. These are the other guys. Guys, let's drink some beer. I think.
Let's do it.
Dave
Off the
is,
top,
here's the
gentlemen.
thing. Dave's been off the sauce for how long? And now, like, not even before the show, before the show started, you're like into there. So it's weird, man. It's weird. It's awesome, but it's still weird.
Oh, it's starting a bit late, but hey, okay. So first things first, I got to take care of some business because it was somebody's
You have to go to the
birthday
bathroom
on
already?
Sunday.
Your balls dropped.
It was somebody's birthday on Sunday, cocknocker.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. It was my birthday. I have turned the ripe age of the 49th parallel. Hey, Peanut Gallery, can you find my...
Meaning for his 49th birthday, he spent most of it being parallel.
Never mind. I found one. There we go.
Would.
And there goes the cap.
All right. Are we letting Locke start? Because he's been
Locke,
waiting the longest.
what are you drinking?
Oh dear, this is unusual beer. This is exciting. I feel like having lived in a province that's been playing catch up with craft brewing, basically on account of its liquor laws are sort of 1980s Soviet kind of nonsense.
Soviet nonsense.
This is fucking exciting beer. The Exchange Brewery has made something they call a super saison.
Where's Exchange Brewery from?
So Exchange Brewery are Niagara on the Lake. So I don't know exactly where in Niagara on the Lake they be, but so the Niagara region. If you're not, you'll have heard of the falls. It's super old school. Like it's like there's the Brock Monument, the Parkway, and St. Catharines itself is sort of a dump. It's a little bit like Reno if it had a waterfall next to it.
Okay.
And I'd like to introduce our new sponsor, St. Catharines, Ontario.
You ain't been to the sea until you've been to the Niagara Sea.
It's the only place in Canada that I've ever seen billboards that advertise help stop human trafficking.
All right, sorry, I had to do that. Continue, Locke,
I'm
continue.
sure they're not going over the falls in a barrel. So anyway. So, sorry, this is only. Forgive my rudery, all good people in St. Catharines.
There goes 4 people who watch the show never.
Yeah, right. So the Exchange Brewery is evidently very exciting. So their logo is sort of don't know what to make of that. It's sort of like a couple of infinity symbols. Are those like S's on their side? I don't know. It's super saison. Anyway, it's 8.3% alcohol per volume. What it is unpasteurized, can conditioned, using Galaxy hops as a dry hop, aged in oak barrels for a year before it's thrown into the cans and can conditioned.
Wow.
It's not clear to me if they're using wild yeasts, but international beer units of 30, so not super bitter. But in terms of what they talk about, fruit, funk, and light acidity, yeah, all of that's well present here.
Checks out.
So I'm just going to go out on a limb here, Locke, and say you'd be all over this shit.
Oh, I love this. This is
You'd
fantastic.
buy 6-packs, multiple.
Well, no. This isn't 6-pack type of drinking.
Okay.
This is, obviously get 6, get 8, get 20 of them. But this is the kind of thing this is the kind of thing you'd like to believe that any really educated seller would have a few of these somewhere stuck in the corner somewhere, just sitting there. Maybe even getting funkier with age. Can conditioned. That's sort of what that's all about, isn't it? At some point that can go wrong, but that's what makes it exciting because you're living with a certain level of unpredictability. What are those? What is all that can conditioning going to do? I would say watch the transit of them, that there will be sediment. So maybe you don't want to disturb that. But the complexity is what you expect from a saison, right? It's farmhouse beer. This is something that's, when they say funky, yeah, like there's something ciderish about it.
That's actually quite good to know. I mean,
so would you say that a canned conditioned beer is the equivalent of a box of chocolates, in that life is like a box of chocolates? You never know what you're going to get. So life is
No.
canned conditioned beer.
Rattling the box of chocolates won't affect whether or not something goes wrong.
Alan Ford, everybody.
I'll be here all week. Tip your waitresses.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
So,
the power is within you. Like, treat it with respect. And I think it's fine.
With great power comes great responsibility. Locke, didn't you have something from that brewery before?
I don't know. I don't remember ever having
The logo looks familiar to me.
What's the brewery name again?
The Exchange. The Exchange.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm like.
No, I'm pretty sure that I have not encountered these guys before. Now, This is so it's not printed on. It's plastic wrap on a tin. But it's not that sort of that
mobile can line
stuff that we've been talking about. This is so they're I don't know what to make of actually whether I support this or not, because I like single-use plastics is something I'm kind of against. Is this the kind of application contemplated by that, or is this a thin enough layer that it's sort of like acrylic paint?
I think it's like that.
Acrylic paint. You know what I mean? It's probably not. It's not acrylic. It's probably some kind of nylon or something. I don't. Fuck, Lord knows. How chemically educated are you guys? Because I'll be honest with you, my chemistry, I've got a little bit of biochem, but when I get into things like plastics, I have no polymers.
No,
I don't know.
I don't know.
No, got nothing.
Sorry.
That saddens me a little.
I failed chem in high school.
I feel like it's some, a well-rounded group of guys should know that stuff. Maybe I better do some research. But
maybe I was a physics guy. I shied away from chemistry.
Yeah.
If there was numbers involved, I ran as fast as possible.
Sorry, what?
If there was numbers involved, I ran as fast as possible.
Yeah, fair
that
enough.
Explains why we don't have time travel. Just because you couldn't figure out what a gigawatt was. And now we'll never know what our parents did in high school. I mean, thanks, Dave.
That reminds me, I just saw a PSA for the Atom Project. And Shane, I think you need to find it. Actually,
the PSA.
I think these gentlemen would appreciate it.
All right,
yeah,
I will see
it's
if I can
damn it. Ryan Reynolds. For and it's Mark Ruffalo. They introduce it, and it's for his Reynolds Adam project, which is a new Netflix, I think, or Prime movie.
Okay, let's see. Here we go.
They've both played superheroes who time traveled.
And our new movie, Adam Project, is about time travel. So we felt obliged to do a public service announcement for daylight savings this weekend because we don't want you to miss our movie.
There are no showtimes, Ryan. It's Netflix.
Of course it is. Anyway, we wanted to make a PSA as epic as our film.
And here's someone who knows a thing or two about time.
Take it away.
I know about time. I am 83 years old. To me, the years seem like minutes, yet I do not dwell in memories because life is about moving forward, not just into the future, into the unknown. This weekend, we will lose an hour, but maybe we will gain some perspective. So as we leap ahead to whatever life holds, let us grab hands and be brave. Because despite what movies have taught us, we can't go back.
Well, I know, right?
Oh,
Guy's
God.
like a legend.
God, that was
That
great.
was absolutely amazing. Christopher Lloyd is just a complete and total
Legend.
legend. I still think daylight savings is so stupid.
It's idiotic.
Well, there you go. It's funny because that's
Is there actually
that's like-
a fucking a motion in the U.S. right now to fucking make daylight savings times permanent?
apparently it passed the Senate. They've approved
What
it,
does that
so
even
now it has to
fucking
go to
mean?
Congress or
Doesn't
something.
You just set your watch forward permanently. You don't change it back when it's fall back.
Well, we've
Apparently-
actually
apparently that's
already
just
done
hard.
it.
Or does it mean that you move it forward an hour every fucking year? So that by the time you get like 10 years in, you're like 10 hours forward. So that you're living your life like a bat.
No,
No,
that's not what it
how
means.
does it work? How is this?
It means that it'll stop. We won't move clocks ever. I think it was in November 2023.
But wait, what if they do it only in the States and Canada chooses to stay with it?
So BC already passed the legislation a few years ago. We were waiting to that when the US does that, we will do it as well. Here in
Alberta?
BC,
What
I don't
about-
know
what
about
if-
I don't know
What if
about
all the other provinces don't care?
I don't know. About
Hey, look, they're the ones.
but here in BC, that's
so
what
I guess we better do whatever they do.
I'm just saying it's a thing now, and who cares?
So, are we drinking beer? Are we drinking?
We
the
are.
three of us?
Dave, how's it going, man? Let's hear what beer of choice I made, but you can describe it because you've already been drinking it for the last 25 minutes.
So Shane found this stuff.
Yes,
Oh,
I did. I
And
found this.
Finland's.
He's not drinking beer. He's drinking soda. Is that not soda?
It is not
No,
soda.
this
it
is
a
in fact probably a little hard to
alcoholic
read. There we
ginger
go.
beer.
Oh, it's alcoholic ginger beer. Oh,
It is.
It's only 4%, but you know.
I was going to say it's
Yeah,
rocking
that's
at the 4%
yeah.
level.
Okay,
At
so
4%, nothing is rocking. Okay.
Alan is drinking it. I'm drinking it. Dave's drinking it. So here it is. What it looks like. It looks like I don't know, like a Pilsner unfiltered kind of thing.
It actually kind of looks like a urine sample, but
thanks for that, Alan.
That was well timed. All right, so this is a ginger beer. That's what it is, and apparently it has booze in it.
and this stormtrooper says, "Cheers."
Cheers.
Oh, nice.
I got to say that's kind of nice.
That is pleasant. Really pleasant. With ginger beer, I would expect to have a little bit more spice than this. But this is not, it has enough of a spice bite to it that it's enjoyable. It's not overpowering at all. You know what I'm saying? But I would prefer just a little bit of a stronger bite to it. But
Oh, really? This works for me bite level. Like I don't want my ass bitten right off, so this works.
mm-hmm.
You can get like the soda type ginger beers.
Yeah.
Some of them can really kick your ass. I'm sure you guys have tasted some of them. I'm not a spice guy, so I'm happy with this because it, like you're saying, Alan, it's got that nice kick without wanting to take your tonsils out. So it's good.
I think maybe the reason I'm not more excited about ginger beer than I am is because I have not yet found that scene that has decided that they're going to venture into the territory called extreme ginger beer.
I'd like to try a ginger beer that's got 8%.
A ginger beer with 8%.
That's what I would like to see.
But it would have to be so spicy that it'd be like you put it in your mouth and be like, ah!
Yeah.
You start crying right away.
Yes. Yes.
And if you get any of it on your clothes and then later touch those clothes and then touch your eye, it'd be like, oh my God, what happened? You know?
I'm gonna say, and I just want to point out, we've had some beers in the past that have had ginger in them. That's not what this is. This is an actual English ginger beer, I assume brewed the way a ginger beer would be brewed.
So the crappy stuff you'd say is not a true.
So like say the Phillips,
it's a true one.
Let's say the Phillips ginger beer that they make it's not a ginger beer in the strictest sense. It's a beer. Like I can't remember if it's a pale ale or a pilsner or what.
Oh, right.
And with ginger flavoring.
Ginger in it as opposed to a ginger beer in the sense of like
brewing with ginger as being the base
I think
of
that's
the
a Jamaican recipe. Would that not be Jamaican?
Ginger beer?
I don't know.
I gotta assume that ginger beer.
It might actually.
I would think that.
I thought it was British, but it might be like.
Well, okay, yeah, but at one point, so was Jamaica.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
That was before the slaves rose up and took things properly in hand and sorted the place out. But look, at one point, it was the central piece to the British economy, such that when. Americans like to think that the American Revolution was the centerpiece of what happened in 1776. Actually, in 1776, there was a global war going on, and the American Revolution was just the French winning that piece, which is to say that they turned the United States into a neutral territory rather than part of the British Empire. Much the way maybe the Ukraine will become a neutral territory instead of part of the Russian Empire.
Right. So this is really good. Like, I'm actually really enjoying this. I would buy this again. Although
I would buy this again. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's an import, so it's probably going to be more expensive. I mean, the only reading that I've done about ginger beer of late is that. Ginger beer is traditionally not necessarily created the way that it used to be, which was fermenting basically ginger, sugar, etc. And yeah, it definitely has its origin in the Caribbean. So but yeah, I mean, overall, I find that it's always kind of a treat kind of thing to have, where you can have something sweet that has a little bit of a kick to it. This one definitely, I would recommend. Hey, Fentimans, I'd put a little more ginger in here, please. It doesn't have that gingery bite, the ginger does when it passes over the gullet. I would like it to really sort of punch you in the face at the same time. Not with alcohol, but with that ginger flavor.
Yeah.
But this is not bad. I mean, this is actually something that could be dangerous. I would treat this as ginger ale, which is definitely not a real thing that much, or at least in my opinion. But hey, when you're really ill and you're sitting at home with COVID, it's a good thing to drink. Which, by the way, our building now has its own several people who have been who have notified everybody that they have had COVID already. So
It's an outbreak.
it's the new strain is coming for us all.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially it is this particular thing, this is something that I particularly enjoy. I'd like it in bigger batches. I don't think 500 ml is enough. But overall, I give it a thumbs up. I'm trying to remember back to when we had the Crabbies. I think it's very similar in flavor and taste. But of course, that was quite some time ago that we had it. So who knows?
Wasn't that year one?
Is
Yes.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All those years ago, 6 odd years or something.
7 or something.
But yeah, I mean it's been a while, and I'm glad we're doing a ginger beer again because it has been too long. And overall, thumbs up to Fentimans for creating this particular drink. It makes me very happy. So
Keith has asked a question here. Will this ginger beer help with the common cold?
good question.
I don't think so.
No, you don't think so?
Well, I don't know. Maybe.
If you had a cold right now and you had that ginger beer with you, would that be improving your situation?
I think it would probably maybe clear out my sinuses a little bit, but I probably need a little bit more ginger for that.
Really?
So the ingredients include fermented ginger root extract, carbonated water, sugar, pear juice, sweet orange extract, citric acid, and yeast. Not a lot to it.
I gotta say that's pretty awesome. I'm very pleased that we have had this drink with pear. Sorry, did you say sweet pear juice?
Just pear juice, sweet orange extract, but the main one is fermented ginger root.
I wish that we had more.
Yeah, me too. Actually, this is really good.
Yeah,
and I wish the alcohol content was a little bit higher on it.
True.
So what would a craft fermented ginger root concoction? If you had a mash that was sort of like highly like ginger root intensive, and you threw cider yeasts at it and fermented that.
Yeah. Well, I guess the question is
what I'm asking you, and this is more targeted towards, any of you. Do you think that, given your craft brewing skills as of right now, and Shane, I'll allow you to defer to, but I could use Julian. Could you make a better product than that in terms of a really kick-ass ginger beer? What do you think? Could you do it better at home?
Could you do it at home? Oh yeah, easily. I actually have a few friends over here in Vancouver that already make their own.
Okay.
And they make it so that it's not necessarily got any booze in it, because you can do that apparently. But it definitely has far more ginger kick when I'm drinking those ones. So yeah, I think actually it would be quite easy to kick the crap out of a ginger beer, make it really good. Now, here's the thing: I don't actually know what you would need to do in order to bring the alcohol content up.
Well, the question is, how much sugar is there in, like, naturally occurring in ginger?
Oh, I have no idea. Hey, Google.
See, I'm thinking
I
it's
wanna
probably
know.
not a lot, which is why they're adding the pear juice and why they're adding the sweet orange extract a bit, just to get a little bit more alcohol than you otherwise would.
Now, according to healthline.com, per 100 grams of cut gingers, so when you've sliced a piece off kind of thing, apparently that contains about 1.7 grams of sugar, natural sugar in the actual thing. So that's actually quite high. For
Yeah,
100
it
grams.
is.
I'd like to know a little more about that, but it also doesn't surprise me because ginger is, if you eat it raw, is kind of sweet
Pretty
as
sweet,
well.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
the ginger is gonna really slam into your tonsils, but if I had any, I don't have any now. But there you go. It's something
Is
that
ginger considered a root vegetable?
is
It is a
ginger.
root.
It's a root. I'm not sure if it's a veg. I guess it would be a vegetable. What
Is it a
is ginger? Is ginger a vegetable? Let's see. The internet has asked this question before. There you are. It is a definition of fruit versus vegetable. Ginger is considered a vegetable because it is the root of the ginger plant. So there you go.
So that would make sense then, because root vegetables are high in starch.
Yeah. So, well, that's a good point. I hadn't thought of that. You're right. So basically, yeah, you've got all of these wonderfully amazing odds and ends, and for how to make now. When you do make ginger beer, you do add sugar to it. Now that's really for taste, but if you are really wanting to hammer it, I guess you could make a fairly. You know what? I'm gonna do that. Hey, we got to make some boozy ginger.
Yes. Yes. I love this.
The peanut gallery is on
Kapla.
board. So I'll have to find out how to make a decent level of alcohol in this thing, because this actually would be really good. Because, I mean, that's the thing, right? Is you have to really, in order to flavor something like this, I suspect you probably would have to have quite a bit of ginger, in order to make it work. But Keith is in. He is in.
I'm
He's
in.
ready. He wants the ginger beer. So yeah, so that's what
Nice.
I'm gonna do. I think it's not a terrible idea, and I think that we should really get on this.
Aim for 8% alcohol.
Well, I mean, of the cider that I do make, which is the most common thing I make, is really can be potent, because if you just add a nice level of sugar to it, like 3 kilograms, you can get some real boozy cider. So just a little tiny bit, about that much. But yeah, it can. I think we when we bothered to measure, because sometimes we just want to make it. We know how to make it like the back of our hand now. So, but when we were measuring it, we were hitting 6-7%. Just standard juice with all that kind of yeah. So we suspect that's probably about the same amount we're getting. It's more than 5, not 10. So it's probably somewhere in the middle. 6% is usually what we would hit. But now it's just one of those recipes. You know it in the back of your mind. You know exactly what to do. You can do it in 20 minutes and you're done. So, and all you have to do is wait for your billions of little slaves to work away their work and make you the alcohol. So
I'm dying to get back into home brewing. It's been so long. I haven't brewed anything in probably a good 8 or 9 years now. So
has it been
I'm
that
dying
long?
to get back into it.
That's right. Dead sugar cubes. Actually, I did make a beer God knows, pre-pandemic. So it was we used some sugar cubes that were oh my god, the with molasses. What is that called?
Brown sugar?
Brown sugar. Thank you.
It's not the beer, Shane. It's the age.
It's not. It's not the age. It's the mileage. But yeah, I mean, definitely that added a whole variety of flavor that normally I don't get. So there you go. Actually, that's not a terrible idea either. A little brown sugar.
Was it good flavor? Did you like it?
Oh yeah, no, it was fine. It was totally fine. It was just something I hadn't done ever. So.
There was a recipe that I saw that I wanted to try brewing, and I never got around to it. But Obama, when he was in office, he actually
Obama beer.
He actually had bees out in the backyard of the White House or whatever that
like a bee
that produced honey, and they collected honey from that, and he used that honey to brew beer. Or he probably didn't. He probably paid somebody to do it, but but the recipe was posted online of Obama's honey beer, and it was really sounded interesting, and I really wanted to try it, but I never got around to it.
So, well, I mean, you can use
well, if you're using honey in the actual
right?
mix, you arguably you could call that a mead, depending on the proportions.
Yes,
True.
I don't think it was a very high proportion.
Yeah.
There was this one beer, and we've talked about it on the show before, and I can't think of what it was. But it was a honey beer that was imported from England. And it tasted so good. I would say the honey was a little bit higher content. I can't remember what it was called. I had it years ago. And nobody else can remember it. And I've tried searching for it online, and I can't find it. But it was really good. Came in a glass bottle, and it wasn't a perfectly round bottle. It was more oval shaped.
Huh.
Almost like a medicine bottle.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what
anyway, I don't remember what it was called. And it's going to bug me until the day I die because I can't find any information about it.
I can see us on our deathbeds going, it's time.
It could be. I may have had like just a stroke or something and just dreamt about this beer.
There's this beer that was really good. It's
like
I used to have a lot of dreams like that. I would occasionally eat little pieces of paper that would help me dream things like that. But like as it goes, the things that I would dream, very often would be very strange, and very often they would involve beer because beer is awesome, and who doesn't want more of that? Awesome.
Exactly. A little story here from Keith here is the Guelph Royal City Brewery had an amazing smoked honey beer.
Oh yeah.
I suddenly
nice.
Now, is that Royal City Brewery? Is that like a sponsored government program? Because I think we need more of those. I think the alcohol that's made in this country needs to be made more by the government. Not one response.
Oh, wow. Okay, I agree to only to this degree that if we were to involve the government in brewing beer, it would have to be hands-on. Like it wouldn't be delegatable. Yeah. They have to actually get involved in actually brewing the beer, and they would have to drink it as well.
So we have like a minister of beer brewing.
So
minister of beer brewing. I'm all for that.
It would be very different than the current system, where they get to pretend that they're just, they're just speaking for their electorate, and yet at the same time, any legislation they pass, they can delegate to an administrative body, and
Okay.
and they can instruct in the statute that that administrative body should not be adjudicatable by anybody except that administrative body.
Well, you know, in this country, it is possible. I mean, if you really think about it, what we've seen over the last couple of weeks, for the past few months, people talking about how the liberals and the NDP are doing this whole combined.
Oh
thing
yeah, but that's there's nothing wrong with that. That's standard Westminster.
Oh well, no, exactly. But the thing is that imagine that kind of stuff happening when you have people who decide that they're going to make beer at the government level. If we see it now in our this whole partnership thing, there is hope for the government getting in on brewing beer for the masses.
What I want to see is the government actually having to brew the beer themselves. Like again, this is back to my view that we're not facing a crisis of politics. We're not facing a crisis of conscience. We're facing a crisis of competence. Put them in a brewery, give them the instructions of how to brew beer, and if they fail to brew beer, then we know that we've elected wrong and we need to do better next time. You see what I mean? There's no point in having a fucking television debate over who argues better when none of them can.
So we do like a survivor reality show or something.
Yeah, none of them can effectively compete at Trivial Pursuit. The facts would seem to matter if you can't legitimately demonstrate command of those. No. Sorry, you're no.
I think the problem is that if you got all the different parties in there to brew the beer, they would argue over different styles. The NDP,
I don't care.
The NDP would want to brew an IPA.
Beer. But if it's below 4% alcohol or tastes like Marmite, then they got something fucking wrong.
Beer socialism, yes, that is a new hashtag for the Crafty Boys. Beer socialism.
I think Greta would approve of this.
You think Greta would approve? I suspect
think
she
she
would
would.
too, because
Yeah.
Is she not from a Nordic country?
I approve. Yeah, there we go. Thanks, Greta.
But no. Historically, we can't agree with beer socialism because you know that the National Socialist Party in Germany started with the beer putsch.
Well, it's just gonna have to.
Yeah. So we can't do that. It'll be. But you see how this is different. I'm not saying that they need to drink a lot of beer. I'm saying they need to be able to prove that they can brew beer before they're allowed to run a country. Do you see what I mean?
That's actually not a bad.
Should you be allowed to run
bar
a
to set.
country?
You want to run for office? You have to brew something really good.
Could Putin successfully? No, not his minions and his fucking associates. Could he himself, given the right materials and room to do it, could he brew beer? Looking at the Ukraine right now, my guess is no, but
probably not. But he'd probably take off his shirt though while he was trying. that would distract everybody from
yes. Yeah, well, that
I agree.
And that I agree with. Yes.
Yes.
I fully support that plan. So overall, the beers we drank today are thumbs up all around. I don't know what else to say about them. Mine's gone. So, hey, Peanut Gallery, what? Thumbs up, thumbs down. What's the story there? Thumbs up. All right. Peanut Gallery likes it.
Good.
But I think we should end it there because we started late today. And I know
Sorry, that was
Locke
my
is
fault.
like half asleep and Dave's always asleep, so it's only myself and Alan carrying the show most of the time. Just pointing that out.
What?
That's right. You and I are keeping things real, keeping it going. You know, half the time, like Dave's like, and Locke is like, so you know. But yeah, so next week we'll see you then. 9:00 Pacific Standard, no, Pacific Daylight Savings Time. Don't forget to tell people about the show. Subscribe, ring bells and stuff. Talk to us on Twitter and things of that nature because you know we're pretty cute that way. And of course, if you do, you know, come to the show, you know, he could still. That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's fair.
It's potato. But anyway, thank you all. We'll see you next week, if not before. And as always, Alan, please take us out.